This question was posed. These long layoffs between games. This is the third time you've had to face this now. As a coach, do you like it? Does it suck?
No, on one hand, I really like it because you get practice time, and each year I'm in the NBA, you get fewer and fewer opportunities to have practice. So to have a really good practice yesterday, to have a good practice today, scale back a little bit in preparation for tomorrow night's game. On one hand, I like it from that aspect. I could see if you're playing at a high level and you're winning games and you're on a big run, you probably don't want to stop that rhythm. But unfortunately for us, we're not in that situation right now. So we have to use this practice time to address all the areas of concern, and that's what we've done. So I have liked it this year because as coaches and teachers of the game, you get a chance to do just that.
We are approaching the anniversary of you putting Nikola Jokic in the starting lineup. Jokmas, if you will. I'm curious, when you think back to that decision, what has surprised you most about the player that he's become since then?
Well, when I made that decision, I knew it was going to help our team. I knew it was going to, just kind of let's cut out all the gray area. He's our best player. We're going to feature him in everything that we do, and every decision that we make moving forward is going to be centered around Nikola. And how do you, as a player, come in here and complement that? I'd be lying if I said when I did that in his second year in the NBA that I knew that we would win a championship and he'd have 3 MVPs. I did not know that was going to happen. But I did know we had a great player, and whose greatest strength as a player is not only his IQ, but his ability to make everyone around him better. And that, I'm not surprised by how well he's played, how well we've played since that time, but I never foresaw that it would happen to the level that it has.
Are you surprised how the first quarters of how you guys play impacts the game? I mean, you play well in the first quarter, you win the game. It's that easy. And can you notice that out of your team in the first few minutes, how they're going to play?
Yeah, like that Washington game. If you go back and watch that in the first quarter, I think the first 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes, you had like 8 turnovers. I mean, right away, that shows you as a coach or a fan or whoever, okay, man, these guys aren't really locked in. And now you're giving a team like Washington life and hope, and that's a dangerous thing. And we've talked a lot about it, obviously, 7-0 when you win the first quarter, 5-0 when you're up at the half, and the responsibility you have as a starter, especially for Jamal, CB, Michael, Aaron, Nikola, to get us off to great starts. There are a few occasions, Vic, where we've gotten off to good starts, and then when we've taken Nikola out or a few guys out, things have gone south fairly quickly, but you can tell with the discipline and the energy and the communication right from Jump Street if our guys are locked in mentally and ready to go.
Are you talking about sort of one less blow-by per game being part of the formula to a better defense? Like, how much of that sort of, regardless of a guy's reputation as a one-on-one defender, is just physicality? Where do you guys kind of feel like you're at from a physicality standpoint at that?
Well, I think if you want to just talk about blow-bys in particular, because when I talk about one more, it's one more a lot of things. I mean, we're bad in transition, so one more sprint back. We're bad in terms of paint, to your point, Bennett. That means one more containment, one more trap the box, one more sink and fill. We're bad in terms of rebounding, one less leak out, one more finding a body being physically engaged. But with the containment especially, yes, do we have 5 Scottie Pippens out there? No, but you don't have to be Scottie Pippen to sit down and guard, to know who you're guarding. Is this guy a right-hand driver? Is he a left-hand driver? Is he a shot fake player? Last time we played the Clippers, we gave him 13 free throw attempts on fouling jump shooters. And we talk about it every time. Norman Powell is going to drive, search out the contact, and get fouled. James Harden's going to step back to his right, shoot the 3, and you got to give him room to land. And we continue to make the same mistake over and over. So yes, physicality can improve, but I also think the want to, the desire, and the discipline within that could also improve. So I think it's, when you're defending at the level we're defending, it's, I think, a lot of things thrown in there together.
Some pretty obvious bench struggles or struggles when Jokic is off the floor this year. Also true when you guys won the title. Why do you think this has just sort of been a common denominator in the Jokic years? Just besides the obvious factor that when he's off the floor, you're missing your best player.
Well, I would just add on to that, and not only we're missing our best player, but you're taking out the best player in the world.
Right.
I mean, like, it's one thing to say, yeah, we're taking out a good player, but like literally that guy's the best player in the world.
Right.
in the galaxy. Let's go even further, right? Let's go even
Extend it.
further. I mean, in the Milky Way.
Oh,
So that's part of it. But to your point, obviously, that's always been a man's search for meaning, our search for meaning. When Nikola goes out, how do we kind of handle those minutes and survive? And we're not talking about like going on a 20-5 run, but how can we just take him out and find ways to hold water? And I think depending on the year, it's different things for every team. I think this year he's up the ante because he's even playing better than he ever has. And now when you don't have Aaron for a bunch of games, and you don't have Jamal for a bunch of games, you're playing a bunch of young players and some new players. That's a really you throw all that becomes a lot to handle at times. And there's a reason that Nikola's minutes are the highest that they've ever been to this point in the season. And hopefully we can find a way to rectify that and find solutions to taking him out and finding a group that can go out there and play well and survive.
Adding off of that and off of Katie's question, the fact that when Nikola's not on the court, it's providing this existential crisis for what man has been searching for. Is it wild to think that he ever wasn't a starter when he was here with you, and just to think of how black and white the before Jokic years were and now?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, even with Jamal, like Jamal and I will often think about his first year or two in the NBA, and he was our backup two guard. I mean, we had Emmanuel Mudiay, we had Jameer Nelson, and Jamal Murray, who helped us win a championship, was backing up Gary Harris. And obviously, as you get into it and your team evolves and roles evolve, you realize, okay, for us to be at our best, Jamal's got to be our starting point guard. You go back to Nikola's rookie season. He was first team all-rookie as a center. Year two, a decision that was made between myself and our front office at that time, hey, let's try to play Nikola and Yusuf Nurkic together. And that didn't work. And then we brought Nikola off the bench, and then that's when I said, what am I doing? This guy was first team all-rookie as a center. Let's get back to playing him at his natural position where he's most effective, and that gave us a natural order of things where we've just kind of built from that day. So, yeah, I mean, the game evolves, players' career evolves, and love to see where Nikola started and where he's at now, and the fact that he's continuing to find ways to push the envelope and get better. When he's a guy that most guys probably think, well, he can't get any better. What can he add to his game? And he continued to find ways to be better, which is truly incredible.
one more.
From your conversations with Jamal lately, where's his head at right now?
I think he's in a good place. You know, I think he's frustrated. You know, you're frustrated with the injury. You're frustrated with knowing that, hey, I know I can play better. I know I can help this team more. You know, but I think it all starts. The beginning part of that all is getting him healthy. Because we know that when Jamal is healthy, we know what he's capable of. And when you're not healthy, you're not able to do all the things that you know you can do and that you want to do. And that's where I think a lot of the frustration lay. But he's had 2 really good days of practice. We'll see how he responds tomorrow. And if he's available tomorrow night, that'll be great to have him back, kind of getting our starting unit back together. It's really easy to look at a record at 12-10 and, oh my gosh, what's happening and where we are. I think we're in 7th place. And then I look at the standings, and we're a game or 2 games out of 2nd place in the West. We had a stretch early in the year against some really good teams that we went 5-0 at home. So I know what we're capable of when we're doing the right things. And that's our challenge, is to do the right things for longer stretches of time, more consistently. And that starts with being healthy and holding ourselves to a much higher standard.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.